9th August 2024, a local airline of Brazil, Voepass Flight 2283 was seen falling from the sky in a horrific manner in different videos. The ATR 72500 was a Brazilian passenger aircraft heading from Cascavel to São Paulo, but just a few minutes before landing, it was hit by an accident, killing 57 passengers and 4 crew members. This was not only the first dangerous crash of Brazil after 2011, but it is also considered dangerous in the aviation history of Brazil. In the video, it can be seen that the aircraft is free-falling and falling from the sky like a cut kite. After the release of the video, there has been a wave of fear among those related to the aviation industry, because no matter what aircraft it is, it can never come down while free-falling. The plane always glides down. So what was the reason? In this regard, an investigation has been launched by the authorities. But what happened a few minutes before the crash that may be the reason for this accident? Viewers, a local airline of Voepass Linhas, Brazil, which covers most of the domestic destinations. They have 8 ATR 72-500 aircraft, one of which crashed on August 9th. The ATR 72 has 2 turboprop engines, and the number 72 in its name shows its seating capacity. It was made by the aircraft manufacturer ATR in France and Italy, while this company also has a 50% share of Airbus, which shares its technology with ATR. Flight 2283's ATR 72-500 was 14 years old, which was purchased by Voepass Linhas from Indonesia's Pelita Air Service in 2022. As I said before, this airline mostly operates only at local destinations. According to flight data record, it took off from São Paulo on August 9th, 2024 at 9:06 a.m., and its destination was 700 kilometers west to Cascavel. This trip was just fine. It landed safely in Cascavel at 11:17 a.m. after 2 hours and 11 minutes. The flight was already late according to its scheduled time, and it had to load passengers from Cascavel and go back to São Paulo. Exactly 41 minutes later, it took off from Cascavel to go back to São Paulo. The aircraft had a total of 57 passengers and 4 crew members, including the pilot. 61-year-old Alberto de Campos was the flight captain, 35-year-old Danilo Santos was the first officer, and 2 female cabin crews were also present. You can also see everything that happened from takeoff to crash on the radar screen. At 11:58 a.m. local time, Flight 2283 took a left turn as soon as it took off from Cascavel and started maintaining an altitude of 17,000 feet, which is also called cruising altitude. At 12:21 a.m., after 23 minutes of takeoff, the altitude of 17,000 feet was maintained. If you go straight from Cascavel to São Paulo, there is a very large mountain range in the middle, which is avoided by all aircraft either going over the Pacific Ocean in the east or passing over plain land in the west. Flight 2283 also took a slight left turn to bypass this mountain range and then started heading straight for São Paulo. According to the radar, the first hour and a half passed in a completely normal way, in which the altitude of the aircraft was around 17,000 feet and the ground speed was 460 kilometers per hour. At 1:07, Flight 2283 took a sharp left turn and headed towards the city of Campinas, from where it was to approach and land at São Paulo Airport. When it was in the south of Campinas above the population, at 1:20, its ground speed was reduced for the first time, which was previously going ahead of the speed of 460 kilometers per hour. Suddenly, that speed became 159 kilometers per hour. What was the reason for this, we do not know yet, but at 1.21 seconds, the pilot maintained his ground speed back to 400 kilometers per hour. Until then, the pilot did not give any kind of information to the ATC. This was the point from where the aircraft was to head towards São Paulo Airport. And in the radar, we can also see that the pilot started turning the aircraft right, but only after 13 seconds. At 1:21:15 when he was turning, the ground speed suddenly decreased, and with it, the vertical speed, i.e. the speed at which the aircraft goes down or up, began to decrease. It was seen in the radar that the aircraft flying at 17,000 feet began to come down at a speed of 13,000 feet per minute, which was also spinning. And during this time, its ground speed, i.e. the speed at which it went ahead, decreased from 400 to 100 kilometers per hour. In this entire process, it took only 1 minute and 14 seconds. That is, in such a short time, the aircraft fell directly on the ground from 17,000 feet. During this time, the aircraft was coming down at a speed of 180 feet per second, and the pilots probably didn't have enough time to let the ATC know about their situation. The place where the vertical speed of the flight began to decrease and the place where it crashed, there is only a distance of 1.3 kilometers kilometers between them. The real reason behind this sudden fall will be known after the investigation, but according to the information available so far, the area in which the crash occurred, at an altitude of 12,000 to 21,000 feet, all the pilots had been given information about the freezing of the snow. This is also called SIGMET advisory, i.e. significant meteorological information. If snow starts to freeze on the wings of the aircraft, then this is a very dangerous thing, because due to the snow, the aerodynamics of the aircraft changes, and the air that lifts it, that lift now decreases. Due to the freezing of the snow, the second problem is that the wings, rudders, ailerons, and elevators, which are the moving parts of the aircraft, get stuck between them and they cannot move. That is, despite the pilot's input, the aircraft will not be able to turn right or left. To avoid this, most modern aircraft have an automatic heating system that does not allow snow to freeze on important parts. Some aircraft have a special chemical spray before the flight that prevents snow from freezing. ATR 72500 has a variety of de-icing systems installed. It has pneumatic de-icing boots on its wings that keep removing the snow from time to time. Similarly, its propellers, windshield, and engine also have de-icing systems installed. And despite all this, if there is a snow forecast from the beginning, then the pilot tries to avoid that altitude or that place where there is a fear of freezing snow. After the crash, the black box of Flight 2283 has been recovered, and it is hoped that in the coming months, the real reason for this crash will be revealed. But for now, it is a mystery as to how the aircraft came down straight from 17,000 feet. We hope you will like and share this video of InfoZem. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.